Hello, gang. I'm Colonel Failure, and a couple of people have asked me to. They'd be quite interested in seeing a recording being done, such as it is. So I'm going to do that today. I'm sitting all the way back here because with my microphone. So if I move over here and just talk to you like that, you probably can't hear me that well. I don't know. I'll find out when I edit, I imagine. But there you go. That's why I'm over here. So just leading into the microphone, just a little bit like that. So yeah. So I'm gonna record me recording the episode, and I'm going to try and do some kind of split screen thing so you can see exactly what's going on that front. So you've got a vague idea of the process. I'm going to shoot some very bad footage of the screens here. The big bright light you've got there, I've turned on my full kind of streaming kit, light-wise, apart from green screen. I'll show you how I've set that up at some point in the future. I keep facing away from the microphone. I apologise for that, but I'm sure you can hear what's going on. I'll try and keep it at a respectable level. Right, let's have a quick look at what we've got going on here. So this is the setup, such as it is. Bit of keyboard, bit of mouse, obviously. And then we're running with a pair of screens, and nice. Yeah, there you go. You can more or less see what's going on. So on this side here, that's my audio recording. Now I always record myself, me rattling away. I always record that separately. So you can see that's doing the thing in real time there. And the first thing to do, if we get the mouse here. You might not be able to make that. You probably can't make that out. But I always have to synchronize at the start, which I do by mimicking a clapperboard, effectively. So if I'm recording me talking to the camera, I'll clap at the same time as I start the recording, so that I know to synchronize onto that point. And that's how the words that come out of my face are synchronized with the sound that you can hear. So that's Adobe Audition, and then right next door to that I've got OBS there. I have gone through so many different pieces of recording software. OBS has just ended up being the one that works at the moment. It'll stop working at some point and then I'll switch to something else. If I stream, I use OBS to record a local copy, and then I use XSplit to stream live. But I'll show you streaming at another point. And then we'll swing over here. So here's the game. This is going to be a Railway Empire. Well, you'll probably find that out in due course. Yeah, Railway Empire is what's on the cards for today. And then what else? Down here we've got my little mixer. So in the mixer I've got the microphone here going into the mixer, which allows me to control the volume independently of the game sound. So that's just me chuntering on, which is turning up in Audition over there. And then what else? The other audio source I've got going in here is if I'm using a soundboard or some effects or something like that I want to trigger in real time. At the moment, I don't. The mixer is then wired straight into the back of the PC. It's basically a line in, which I will then merge with the game sound and any other sound effects that I want to do after the recording is done. Right, I'm gonna get set up. We'll put a brief cutette in there. I'm not going to leave anything out. It's just a question of getting the microphone and the camera and everything else put somewhere that I can actually make work. There it is. And there's the stream helmet, by the way. It's, it always lives close by. Right, let's get you a good angle here. Let's put you up. You'll get some clanging sounds while I move stuff around. See, I have to now look over there and just kind of go, do we think we're in a good shot? I want you to be able to see the screens at the same time as you can see me somewhat. What do we think? Now, I think that's probably it. I'll probably be I'll be a bit closer in. Let me move the microphone properly. You'll get some microphone noises while I move this around. Apologies for that. And then, the other thing, I wear headphones, right? Now these are, what are these? These are AKG, tangled up all over the place. AKGs. Yeah, there we go. Autofocus? No, not today. Okay. So these are AKGs. These are professional monitors. So these are the kind of things you'd use in a recording studio. They strip all EQ out for those of you of a musical leaning. Let's get a bit more light on the situation. There we go. That's kind of made me look a little bit eerie, if I'm honest. See, well, I need to be lit from here. Lighting imperfections, I tell you. Yes, no, here you go, headphones, yeah, and I'll wear those one ear on, one ear off. Basically, they block all external sound, so I can only hear myself and the game. But if I put both headphones on, I can't hear myself well enough. I don't feed the microphone back through the headphones. I find that quite off-putting. So I leave one ear off, this one, so that I've got some kind of ability to kind of hear surroundings and hear my voice reflecting back and stuff, and it just makes it feel a bit better. Right, let's put some final adjustments on here. Right, yeah, that's going to be about it. Let me know what you think angle-wise. We might do this again at some point in the future, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get set up, and then I shall start I'll start recording with you. I'll start recording with this, and then afterwards I'll take you through a bit of editing as well, because why not? Right, let's do an edit here. Right, there's the flipping. Okie dokie. First thing to do here, let's get the microphone at a good height. Right. So first thing to do here is to let the game know that I'm about. Well, it's the game recording. I basically want to match up the start point when I hit the record button on OBS. Right. So the camera here that's totally isolated from everything else. I'm basically just recording to the memory card on the camera. Right. Okay. So OBS, and then we say recording in 3, 2, 1. So that's me starting the OBS recording. Because I've got a loud keyboard, that also allows me to hear the key press being done. And then we need to ensure that the game is properly synchronized with the sound, because obviously my face doesn't appear on the screen. I don't do screen cam stuff very often. But I want to make sure that the game is properly synchronized with the audio. So we say closing this menu in 3. Can you see that? Yes, you can. Closing this menu in 3, 2, 1. Didn't do it. Do it again. 3, 2, 1. Opening menu in 3, 2, 1. There we go. So now when I get to the edit stage of things, I'll match up those positions as closely as possible, and then everything should be in sync. You'll notice when it's out a little bit is, I'll be clicking and it won't quite kick off. Right, I'm going to get on record. You just sit there and watch. I'll be done in about as long as an episode takes. Do I have a concept for what I'm doing this time around? Well, here's the setting. The setting is basically I'm making so much money it's ridiculous. Today I'm just going to hit up the to-do list, which is there, and go from there. But I don't know. Let's see how we get on. Right. Boink. So obviously find something to look at. There you go. Augusta. Augusta's a good place. It's pretty central in my arrangement. Let's click onto that, and we'll probably center on the track. Oh yeah, I see. That's a good shot. Hello passengers, I'm Colonel Failure, and you're watching Railway Empire, and it's the year 1834. We're following along the Atlanta-Augusta route here, which at the moment is carrying, is that mail or is that passengers? I can never remember. That's passengers. Passengers and meat, which is a heady combination that we all want to carry on a regular basis. And as you can see from the top here, we've got money coming in at very, very high speed. And frankly, I should really just be pushing to wipe out my opposition as quickly as possible. And we're going to get on with that pretty soon, I would have thought. But also, I want to hit up my action item list. If we close that, it's just a shame it doesn't follow along, that you can't kind of minimize that window and just kind of follow along what's going on. Oh, hello there. The fruit orchard near Montgomery is up for sale as it's unprofitable. Next bid stands at 720. Nobody bought it. That's okay. See, I had too much decision time on my front there. I should have, just snatched it immediately and then started running fruit like there was no tomorrow. But hey, this is a nice place to hang out, isn't it? Back in Atlanta, where we originated the universe. Now, I think one of the mistakes I'm probably making at the moment is in not dedicating trains to particular cargo types, so passengers versus whatever else is available. But it's not stopping me make a profit. You know, I'm still doing very nicely indeed. Possibly because I'm just playing on normal rather than anything else. Hold on, what's this? Connection bonus of many hundreds of thousands. Where? Well, where did that just go? Oh, here it is. Look, right. Connection bonus. It's over there. Who's this? This farm will give me 370 grand just for connecting to it. Okay, well, what should I connect it to? Where are you currently taking your goods? You're not taking them anywhere. Well, that's probably why there's going to be a connection bonus. Ooh, what have we got there? Random breakdown. Ah, terrific. Well, for 370 grand, I'm prepared to pick up some wheat from there. It's just a question of where I want to take it to beyond that. You know what? I'm going to do something with a warehouse. That's new. Okay, well, stay tuned, and we're going to do something with a warehouse. Right, so at this point, the bombastic intro is playing. Now, I usually leave a minute or so of bombastic intro time, and then I'll edit down to the right chunk before we come back in again. So let's come back in again and see what we get. Yeah, probably. I don't really know. Okay, I've got an angle. So, as we can see there, that's Daisy Duke's train, or whatever her name is, that's running out in that direction. And that's Charleston, which is the next town you've got there. We've got Augusta, which I own, but warehouses have been sat there for a little while, waiting for me to build one. The question is, what should I do with it? Let's pause up the game a touch here. Can I pause this up and get kind of flow of goods going on? So we are taking grain to Augusta, but it's all coming from out here. Oh, it's miles away. A task is about to expire. Oh, crikey. Which task? Is it one that I've done? 1834. Yes, and I've hit it. Results! Oh, well, that's good news. Oh, excellent. Right, well, the next one I've got to hit is building an attraction in Knoxville. We'll get to that. We're obviously working on several others at the moment anyway, but that's good. Oh, right, well, hey, see, look, we're ahead of schedule. So if I build into Augusta, the trick is going to be getting past Madame Frou-Frou's station here, which she's built in the way of my business. But I'm sure we'll figure out a way of doing that. Right, what's shift, mouse, wheel, station. Now, I might have to employ some actual engineering here to get this to work. Yes, it is rather wonderful, isn't it? Right, now I just need to connect that up to something. Now, I don't know if I can use her track or not. I'm going to assume not as we run into Augusta, but what I might do first is I'll probably upgrade this station. Upgrade the station. Yes, there we go. And then we shall see what we can do with track. Now it might mean that that a warehouse isn't necessary this time. Just click and go. Just click and go. We can cross over that. Okay, this is good. Now what's the actual elevation distance here? Not that much. So obviously the further I can. Yeah, it won't let me work with her track at all. So we're going to have to go over the top. But given that I'm just doing this for some free money, well, you know, why would I get too excited? Every incline affects blah blah blah. Yep. Well, I mean that makes sense. I've got no problem with that. Right, you come on. All right, yeah, all right, that works. Then swing around there. Well, there are tougher tracks that I've built in the past, but. It's all good. Bonus received, 370 grand. I've got 2 million, well, 1.75 million in the bank, and that is a drastically terrible looking bridge. I love it. Right, okay, now, next up, we might as well benefit from the grain, frankly. So I'm going to, let's whack a train on there, set up a rail line, Augusta, yeah, out to Cook Farm. Yep. And just go automatic. Yep, that seems to be reasonable. Stick a locomotive on it. Right, something relatively grunty would be good. This is tractive power, 31%. You're not going to get much better than that, are you? And at 27 miles per hour, it's also relatively swift. So let's grab that. A Dunham. Have we got what? We got a Stoker on board. What are you going to do? Recruitment costs £2.5 grand. You do maximum speed. That's not unhelpful. Actually, aren't you working for me already? No, it says new applicant. Okay. Right. You're cheaper, but less effective. And you're level 2. Yeah, no, let's buy the level 2 guy. I've got the money. I might as well put it to work. Right. I did assign him, didn't I? Yes, of course I did. Surely I would have made that happen. Right, this train should be in motion. There we are. Look, loads of good-looking corn on there, which I'm certain is going to be wanted by somebody. We'll soon find out, of course. Given that they don't actually... Yeah, I checked for wheat, didn't I? Like an idiot. Have we got any demand for corn at all? Well, they paid for it, so that's something. Right, I need to put a tower on there for the sanding and the water and the ha-ha. Do you not want to do both tracks? I guess not, because they're not properly merged. So you can have your own one. There we go. Dedicated track, dedicated platform. It's incredibly inefficient, but it is getting the job done. Right. Okay. Bit of research available. Lovely. And we've got some more trains. So we've got the North America, which isn't brilliant. The Jarvis 4.2, however, does look quite special. Or we have Iron Fire Tubes, reduces the purchase price. Or the Speedometer, which increases my power. Or the refrigerator car increases freight revenue of food. Or, hold on, we're not done yet. The G&M American will do quite a heavy amount of miles per hour there. Let's have a look over on this side of things. Foundations reduces the construction cost of bridges by 40%. Should have done that a minute ago then, shouldn't I? Retroactively reduce the cost of auctions. Increases the number of new applicants. None of these are really firing me up, you know. So we're just going to take something that has a reasonable long-term benefit. So we'll take this, right? And I've got 160 innovation points left, so I'll be ready to pick up something else relatively quickly, I would have thought. Right, okay. Let's have a... What's your... You've broken down. That's lovely. That's what we like to see. Now, several of you in the last episode pointed out that I was getting sabotaged by the opposition, and that therefore I should possibly look into doing something about that, which can be having defensive chaps on board, or getting to sabotage them before they come to you. What does this one do? Accelerates maintenance, yeah, or increases ticket prices. I'm all about increasing the ticket prices. I hope that locomotive is a success as well. Right, now, I've got 2.3 million that is just basically going nowhere. So what I really ought to be doing here is continuing to buy out the opposition. Hello, Roger. I want to buy some of your shares. Buy 1%. Now, we know that 4% gets me the controlling stake. Does it, though? I own 51% of your company, Mush. Therefore, merge. Merge? Merger with Railmaker Inc. Due to the fusion, blah, 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 you therefore need to own 100%. Okay. 0% shares must be bought, blah, blah, blah. Total cost 6.1 million. I don't quite have the cash. Okay, well, I've got 51% anyway, so that's a good place to start. He's running 43 trains, which is quite significant. Now, he's going to be my biggest competitor, which means that he's going to accelerate his share price quickly. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to buy as many of them as I can now. There we go. getting me far closer to the full acquisition cost, on the basis that that's just going to save me effort when it comes to well, it's going to save me money in the long term when I buy them out. I am, of course, dwarfing everybody else in terms of company value, and that's exactly as it should be. Right, okay, let's have a quick look. Now, I'm going to start working towards, hello, what do we got here? Cleared area near Toledo. Business for sale, what is it? It's logs by the looks of it. Yeah, I'll buy it. I'm not even going to think about that too much. I'll figure out how to put that to work on my network. But if I buy it, I am lucky, yes. But my basic plan here, what's this one? In the engine shed. I've got a new engine in the engine shed. And we've got a security guard available. I'm not too bothered about it. I'll take the occasional breakdown. What have we got here? I've only got 24 grand. I can't do it. Oh, that's unfortunate. Right, I'll just opt out of that and somebody else can have it. Offers, yeah, no, I can't do anything about it. I haven't got the cash. No, I just bought something else. Oh, hold on, we might be back in. Offers 80,000. Yes. Come on, 90k. Give me 90k. Give me 90k. Come on. Okay, that was interesting. While I had that up, it looked like it was paused, but the countdown could just run in there so I could rack up some more cash. That's interesting. They don't run in real time. They run in some kind of simu-time kind of a deal. Right, now, I just bought a thing near Toledo, and half of my trains are broken down. And what? The express train is in danger of a faster train or some such? Interesting. Connection bonus of 500,000 to get to green fattening. Okay, where are they sending their goods at the moment? They're not sending them anywhere. And you know I will do stuff for 500,000. Right, Montgomery. So it seems. Right, Montgomery. Tell me what you what do you like, Monty? Are you interested in meat and or hides? Not at the present time. No. But you know what? This all. Firstly, it helps towards the goal of the number of freight wagons I have to deliver, and secondly, this is worth 500,000 quid. So you know there is that to consider as well. If we fling this around here, and then just line it up, that'll do. Good track. Thank you. Now, I would not describe this style of play as smart. I'm pulling air quotes there, but yeah, this is not smart play. What it is, I'm just basically brute forcing everything. I just made 500,000 quid for doing nothing. It's ridiculous. Right, now then, I need to put a signal on here, just like on the other side of the track, which you have to go shift, mouse wheel, mouse, there you go. We'll put a signal on there. I don't want it to be a one-way signal, it just needs to be a signal type signal, and then everything will be golden. I might as well go and pick up this this cow-based produce, because I may be able to sell it at some point, so we'll stick a supply tower on there. We'll go and buy a new train. Yeah, thank you. Choo-choo. From Monty out to green fattening, and yeah, that's good. Add a locomotive. So the Jervis is my new one, Jarvis, I suppose. I don't think it's the one to go for. Although 40% tractive power is pretty good. I don't need one of that kind of level of momentum to get this job done. We will go with another Dunham. We could put a stoker and a security guard on board. No, can't be bothered. Do it. There we go. That'll do. Yeah. That button I just pressed there was absolutely redundant. It's waiting for track clearance. You'll have it any moment. And maybe there is an opportunity to carry the goods on to a supplemental station. We've got a professor available. I tell you, this game doesn't half rattle onwards. Available employees. What do you do? Gives research tasks to your companies. You receive 600 grand and a one-off donation. A one-off innovation point reduction of 90. Okay. Yeah, for 600 grand, give up 90 innovation points. Yes, do it. I'll take that because we'll then continue to buy out Chuckles McGee here. Right, I need 1.9. No, I've got 1.5 available. So we'll splash in another 14% of his stock, which leaves me 15% left to buy. And also, if I buy him out, I immediately get all of his existing bits and pieces, which will bump my profitability right through through the sun, effectively. And I'll get all his trains, which will complete another opportunity. I'll just need to make it efficient, make it run properly, all of that kind of jazz. Easy peasy. I've got no problem with that in the slightest. Bulldozer power is going places. Hold on. Railmaker Limited, new station, 17 stations currently connected. I look forward to taking it over. Yes, I need 1.5 million to make that happen. No suitable freight for this train. Intriguing. I think that was possibly the return leg. Right, okay, now then, I bought... See, I need to, keep half an eye on stuff here. I bought a lumber yard near Toledo. Don't get obsessed with connecting things for money. It's not necessarily a smart move. Right, number one, find Toledo, home of the Mud Hens, I believe. What have we got down here? No suitable freight for this vehicle. It's a one-way trip. It's fine. It's not going to carry anything out to green fattening. That's perfectly fine. Don't have a problem with that. Toledo. Yeah, you see, you've got no idea where that is, do you? So we're just going to have to eyeball it. Actually, there's probably a button somewhere that tells me everything that I own. There's Knoxville. What are you? You're just a logging situation here. Wright Forest Isles. I don't own that. It should show up because I own the thing. That I think is relatively sensible to consider as a likely something or other. No, that's the connection thing I get. Don't get obsessed. Right, okay, let's find it. Where's my holdings company? Probably. Quarterly report. Yeah, I ought to have a look at that, actually. Competitors not interested. Stock market not interested. It's not telling me, is it? No. Businesses. Is that the value of businesses? Yeah, presumably it is. Oh, that's nice. Five and a bit million. That's jolly good. Yeah, I'm worth 20 million quid at the moment. That's splendid. That is. Investments, locomotives. No. That's okay. That's just spending. Income from industry is 158,000, which is absolutely splendid. But this is clearly not the. These aren't the droids I was looking for. Train list, no. Nope. Okay, where's the list of things that I own? It's not showing up on the map. This is the kind of thing that I would, it would be good to know in advance of actually buying stuff. Thomas Breeding, no. Find Toledo and you'll find your logging camp. And then we can send Stegs out there in a truck to go pick up some logs. This is sound thinking. Another connection bonus, another random breakdown, another random breakdown, another random breakdown. Now, either I'm being saboteured like there's no tomorrow, or I simply have a reliability problem with my trains. There's Toledo, and there it is. See, it's got a little thingamajig over the top of it. Okay, right, now then, what are you doing at the moment? Absolutely nothing. Okay, logs. You're sending some to Grand Rapide and to Toledo. So, you know what I could do? I could do a little shuttle run between these three stops. Livestock near Louisville for 2.2 million. Yeah, I'm not interested. And I doubt anybody else is. I'd be very surprised if anybody else has got that kind of cash on hand. Right, now then, if I put a station into Grand Rapids here, is it going to give me grief because I haven't connected somewhere else up? It shouldn't do, and thus it hasn't done. Right, let's rotate that ever so slightly. Yep, that's good. And then let's build in Toledo as well. Right, okay, there you go. Now we're in business here. What? They won't let me in until I've connected Grand Rapids. All right, fine. I can work with that. Don't worry about it. There you go. Have some connection. Yeah, good. Have at it. Yeah, I realise I bought this business recently. Thank you. Now then, and then we'll do... Hold on. Bulldozer Power is the darling of the stock exchange as the value of the company reaches 22 million. As well it should. Right, and then we shall go from... Give me some... No, I need another station. Are you going to give me any hassle, Toledo? You haven't connected a station with your hometown. Oh, flipping heck. Oh, well, never mind. I'm going to run a train up here anyway. Now then, we're going to need some kind of an engine shed type, keep it fixed sort of deal here. Construct a maintenance building. Yep. And then we don't need to expand it at this current time, but we will need a supply tower on here somewhere. That'll do. And then we'll go new route. Set up a rail line, Grand Rapids. Thanks, but I think that was good press. Just letting you know. Hold on. Atlanta takes critical stance. Hold on. Bulldozer Power's not having an easy time of it. Poor. Oh, okay. She just pulled a dirty maneuver on me. Well, that's okay. I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. I'm going to put the... You know what? I'm going to put the Jarvis to work on this. That seems like a reasonable idea. And hopefully... Because, see, if this pays off, what it will do is it will make me money just in raw delivery. Now, where's he plunked her down a station? Yeah, this will drive me profitability on individual deliveries and then additional profitability from the fact that it's coming from my my farm, my logging camp. That's the hope anyway. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this time. We will progress further. We're very close to buying out our first piece of opposition, and once we've done so, we will assimilate all their stuff and probably tidy it up a little bit. And say, that's a good view. Good views to be had by all. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. I don't think I've actually driven under one. I don't know why I'm riding on the cow pusher at the front there, but I am anyway. What was I saying? Oh, I don't know. The usual kind of jazz. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. Chuck a like at this one if you enjoyed it. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on whatever nonsense occurs next. I'll catch up with you very soon. Cheerio. Now, the critical bit that we've done here, there was an interruption because my camera timed out at 25 minutes in that way that it does. The critical point here is that I need to record enough to go over the bombastic outro, and then everything's golden. That's going to take a minute or two. I always make sure I've got enough, because the outro is actually a bit longer than you expect. It's only like 25 seconds in total, but you want to make sure you've got enough. Anyway, that's the recording phase done. I shall be back when we get to the editing phase. Okay, so the recording is done. Yeah, that's good. And that's always a fine place to start. And now it's a case of getting the edit kind of sorted out. So in the background behind me, hopefully, if I've edited this properly in any way at all, you'll be able to see Premiere. So Premiere is my editing program of choice. I'll position my head somewhere. The bit that you can't see is sitting on my second monitor. Let's pull that up for you now so you can see what we've got going on there. Let's do a bit of that as well. Bring that over here and do a bit of this. Yes. Give it the list. Yes. Thank you. One more bit to pull up. Hold on. Yeah, I see. I should have prepped in advance, but you know, I thought I had done, and obviously not so much. Right. Okay. So on the second monitor here, I'm going to use the skillful kind of steady cam approach here. There we go. Nope, no, wait, look, because I'm on a tripod, which is also unhelpful for this particular endeavour. Right, there we go. No, wait for it. There you go. There's a second monitor. You probably can't make too much of it out, but over here you've got the list of all of the bombastic intro sloganators. Here's the sloganator list, so I know what all of them are, and there's my preview window, this one here, that I use for actually editing footage together. Now then, meanwhile behind you, see there, no, behind me, not behind you. No, you're fine as you are. So the first thing I need to do is pull in all the stuff that I just put together. So let's fish that up. So this one is the footage of the game being recorded, and what you'll see in the bottom corner here is a loading bar, because it's kind of preloading all of that content into the mix. And then over here, we want Railway 1, which is that one. So that's the audio that went alongside that. So we've now got both of those being imported into Premiere. This will take maybe 30 seconds in total. It's nice and quick, right? Yes, we good? Yes, right, okay, we're in place. So what you can see here is this is my default template. So here's the outro. This is the bombastic outro going on here. Social cube, kind of makes sense, with a bit of an overlay and the crossover orange thing. In fact, we can show it on there, which you can't see. This is not helpful in the slightest. In fact, you can just about make that out. If I make this a bit bigger, maybe you'll be able to see it. There you go. Let's make that a bit bigger. How's that? Not much better. Let's make this fit to the screen. That's a bit better still. Obviously, the bright white light is really not helping you see it. Let's turn it off. There we go. Try that. Oh yeah, dramatic levels of difference that made. Anyway, you can see what's going. So this is kind of the preview of what's going on, kind of finished product. But we can scrub through that here. So that does all the standard stuff. Here's the orange kernel failure kind of splashy screen thing, which goes over, and then you've got the overlays and all of that end jazz there, right? So that's the end screen, and then up here you have the opening. So here's my little logo bouncer, you know, doing its thing, and then a little bit further on from that, which will move around, is the well, it's just fallen off. There's the bombastic intro, so that's the default one. You'll know that I've been completely lazy and not changed it if that one ever shows up in an edit. Right, so let's move that back down to there, and then we'll crack on. Right, so the first thing I'll do is I'll pull in the game footage there. So here we go. Here's the game footage. That's all sitting there, and that's got game sound underlying it as well. And then we pull in my my audio, which we sit underneath, and then I get that out of the way so that I can do a bit of editing on there. Now then, I don't know if you're going to hear anything here or not. If you do, great. If you don't, sorry. All right, I hear my headphones, because what I'm first looking for, that's me coughing, helpful. Synchronizing sound, recording 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's to do the camera. Right, okay, yeah. Should I close the curtains? Right, okay, yeah, so it's not going to be there. What are you? Hello, gang, I'm Kernel Failure, and a couple of people have asked me to... see, that's me talking to the camera earlier on. I really hope the sound comes out on this. It'll make things much better. What I'm looking for is actually starting the recording itself, which I possibly should have done as a separate entity. Now, with the peaks that I've got going on here, it's quite often easy to do to spot when I've actually kicked off. Hold on, what are you? Go on, tell me. Okie dokie, first thing to do here, let's get the microphone at a good height. Right, no, right, okay, and... Hello passengers, I'm Kernel Failure, so and you're watching... That's the start of the episode, so now all I need to do is find my flipping synchronization point, which is going to be a bit of a mission. Because normally, of course, when I'm recording, I'll go straight in with, you know, recording 3, 2, 1, and get the show on the road. Let me know what you think, angle-wise. We might do this again at some point in the future, but that's kind of made me look a little bit eerie. Stream helmet, by the way. you know, always lives close by. Right, let's get you a good angle here.
I have to listen, otherwise none of this makes sense. If there's no sound, I'll edit all this down.
See, I have to now look over there and just kind of go, do we think we're in?
Yeah. What's this?
I don't know. I'll find out when I edit, I imagine. But there you go. That's why I'm over here. So just leading into the microphone, just a little bit like that. So yeah. So I'm gonna record me recording the episode, and I'm gonna try and do some kind of split screen.
Yeah.
Microphone. I apologise for that. But I'm sure you can.
I'll
hear
find
what's
it.
going on.
The simple thing to do here would just be to listen to it through and
right. Let's have a quick look at what we got going on.
Do
here.
that way.
This is the setup.
This is the setup.
Bit of keyboard, bit of mouse, obviously.
This is the height of professionalism. That's what you got going on here. This is what you pay your money for to see this kind of.
You can see what's going on. So on this. But I always have to synchronize at the start, which I do by mimicking a clapperboard, effectively. So if I'm recording me talking to the camera, I'll clap at the same time as I start the recording, so that I know to synchronize onto that point, and that's how the words that come out of
get to the point
are synchronized with the sound that you can hear.
Yes.
So that's Adobe Audition, and then right next door to that, I've got OBS.
You've got OBS.
There.
But don't use
I have
OBS for
gone
streaming.
through so many different pieces of recording software. OBS has just ended up being the one that works at the moment.
Yes.
It'll stop working at some point, and then I'll switch to something else.
Almost
if I stream, I use OBS to record a local copy, and then I use
move these out of the way
to stream live. But I'll show you streaming at another point. And then we'll swing over here. So here's the game. This is going to be a Railway Empire. Well, you'll probably find that out in due course. But yeah, Railway Empire is what's on the cards for today. And then what else? Down here we've got my little mixer. So in the mixer I've got the
riveting stuff. This
here going into the mixer, which at the moment I don't. The mixer is then wired straight into the back of the PC. It's basically right. Let's get you a good angle here. Let's put you up. You'll get.
Never mind a good angle.
What do we think? Now I think that's probably it. I'll probably be a bit. I'll be a bit closer in. And then, the other thing, I wear headphones, right? Now these are, what are these? These are AK imperfections, I tell you. Yes, no, here you go, headphones, yeah, and I'll wear those, one ear on, one ear off. Basically, they block all external. So I leave one ear off. Right, let's put some final adjustments on here. Right, yeah, that's going to be about it. Let me know what you think angle-wise. We might do this again at some point in the future, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get set up, and then I shall start recording.
It's going to be here.
With you, I'll start recording with this, and then afterwards I'll take you through a bit of editing as well, because why not?
I'll take you through the editing now.
Let's do an edit here. Right, there's the flipping button. Okie dokie. First thing to do here, let's get the microphone at a good height.
Right.
So first thing to do here is to let the game.
It's here. Look,
know,
you can always see it. So you get peaks turn up when I do my count-ins. So it's going to be about there. Let's
OBS, and then we say recording in 3, 2, 1.
Right, so that should be the entry point. I might edit all of this down, but I might just leave it as is because I'm sure it's fascinating. Right, we grab this, drag it back to there. Now, if it's the first thing that I've done recording for the day, it usually won't sync very well at all. But what we've got here is now, as you can see there, we've now actually got the game picture going on and the game sound underneath.
So that's me starting the OBS recording. Because I've got a loud keyboard, that also allows me to hear the key press being done. And then we need to ensure that that the game is properly synchronized with the sound.
This is going to be like Inception.
Here on the screen. I don't do screen cam stuff very often.
I'm going to confuse the hell out of myself and try and pull this together.
I want to make sure that the game is properly synchronized
with the audio. So we say closing this menu in 3. Can you see that? Yes, you can. Closing this menu in 3, 2, 1. Didn't do it. Do it again. 3, 2, 1. Right, so the menu went off just a little bit ahead there, which is more or less what I'd expect, which means that the sound and the clicks aren't perfectly aligned. 3, 2, 1. Once more. 2, 1. Right, okay, so I need to move that back ever so slightly. That's like 6/100ths of a second I just moved it. 3, 2, 1. Close. Maybe just a smidge more. Like 1 or 2 will do the trick. And you have to zoom in on the timeline in order to move with that level of granularity. So I move forward 4, so if I move back by 2, that will probably do the trick. There. 3, 2, 1. Opening menu in 3, 2, 1. There we go. So now when I get to the edit stage of things, I'll match up those positions as closely as possible, and then everything should be in sync. You'll notice when it's out a little bit is... Right, okay, cool. So that's now measured up. So now what I'm looking for is I'll look for the start of the episode itself, which looks like it's here. Hello passengers, I'm Colonel Failure, and you're watching Railway Empire. The game sound the year 1830 is a little loud. So we'll drop the game sound down by a little bit, which we do on effect controls, and then we'll set a new keyframe in there, and we'll drop that by about 4 decibels. 4 to 6 is usually about enough. I think 4 will probably do it because it's only going to be this loud while I'm zoomed in. When I zoom out, the sound will be back off again. So I'm prepared for it to be a little bit too loud to start with, and then afterwards we can just gently do the do. Hello passengers, I'm Colonel Failure, and you're watching Railway Empire, and it's the year 1834. Right, that's good. Now, I'm pretty aware that I did that in one take, which is quite often the way, but we want to crop off everything we're not using. So we get rid of this and match it up to there, get rid of all of that, and then we can drag all of this lot right back to the start. Like so, and then this is the opening of your episode. Hello passengers, I'm Colonel Failure, and you're watching Railway Empire, and it's the year 1834. Right, and then we'll have the logo thing pops up at about 30 seconds in, and then we get to the bombastic intro. Now the bombastic intro will stand out. Usually it would stand out a little better, but I can still see it. You can see it in the middle here. Because I don't say anything while the bombastic intro is running. Now I'll crop out the sound anyway, as you will hear in a moment. So we go, and we're going to do something with a warehouse. We don't end up doing anything with a warehouse. Right. So at this point, and there's me talking to you again. Okay. Right. So what we do there is we spot the point at which I want the intro to come in, which is usually pretty much. I mean, the good thing about the underscoring that I stick on there. So the build up to the bombastic intro is it means that I can leave as long or as short as a gap as I like after speaking, and it always sounds like a natural kind of come in. So we'll grab that lot and we line it up with that cut that I just made. We then cut underneath. So so this little block on the top, that's the end of intro swoop. Can you make that out? Yeah? Yeah, you can. So that's the end of intro swoop going on there. So that's the intro in all. Now, I cut out my audio. We'll then cut out... Whoa, steady. Hold on, play. Random clicking. We then need to unlink this in order to crop out the game audio as well. So that just leaves the game video sat underneath whatever bombastic intro slogan I choose to go with. And today... I don't know, what did I end up doing? I was just out of control, basically. Let's have a look. We'll use one we've already used. Very rarely do I add a new one. I try to add them as they become kind of, you know, a regular feature, something I say on a frequent basis. Let's go for loot in a sensible way, given that I'm buying people out. So that's number 60. So we'll grab number 60, drag it over into the main copy here, and then we'll replace number 64, which is in there at the moment, with number 60. And then click to make sure it worked. And then we crack on and we find the start of the main
thrust of the episode. So as we can see there, that's Daisy Duke's train, or whatever her name is. And I'll usually try and find some kind of angle with regard to what I'm going to talk about at that point. You know, as much as I try and find something to talk about right at the start of the episode, coming back after the intro, you also want something to kind of keep people... here we go, this is what we're doing, blah, 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 blah. And then we go blah, 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 blah for about 20 minutes. And then we work our way to the end. Again, I've got no edits to make in there. It's all, you know, I've got it all pretty much as I would like for a straight playthrough. If I was doing an epic level edit, you've got hours and hours and hours of chopping stuff up and moving it around and adding sound effects and all that kind of jazz in there as well. Not in this case. This one's just a straight bit of let's play. So we now skim forward to the end. Connected Grand Rapids. All right, fine. I can work with that. Don't worry about it. There you go. Have some... That beep there, that was the flipping camera. Camera stopping at 25 minutes. So I do need to put in an edit. Right, let's... yeah, here we go. We're going to need to listen. Forgive me. And then let's build in Toledo as well. Right, okay, there you go. Now we're in business here. What? They won't let me in until I've connected Grand Rapids. All right, fine. I can work with that. Don't worry about it. There you go. Have some connection. Right. So I'll put a break in here because I fiddled with the camera to get it recording again, and that left a gap in my audio of a little bit of time. So we'll get rid of that. We'll now drag this back up there, and I'll use my standard edit concealment dip to black, which will just overlay onto there. Right. Connection. And you'll possibly see this do the thing. I realise I bought this business recently. Thank you. Now then, and then we'll do... There you go. Brilliant. Right, now then, if we head... The rail line, Grand Rapids. That's a character talking.
Chin up, sweetie. There's no such thing as a bad press.
Right, thanks. And then we head out to the end of the episode. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. Chuck a like at this one if you enjoyed it. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on whatever nonsense occurs next. I'll catch up with you very soon. Cheerio. Right, and then we stick another cut in here. Yup. Doink. And one of those and one of these. Right, we get rid of whatever underscoring I've got there. We unlink the game audio again. But we want to keep the game video in place, so we'll now drag this forward. Now, obviously, the spinning cube happens while I'm still telling people to subscribe, as I do all the time. There we go. But again, this lines up perfectly with the end of the episode. So we'll get... Don't miss out on whatever nonsense occurs next. I'll catch up with you very soon. Cheerio. Bum, bum, bum. Right, okay. And there we go. And so that plays underneath, and then I stick end cards on once I upload it to YouTube, and we're golden. Anyway, there you go. That's gonna wrap up this this behind the scenes special. We put a bit of a trim on there, so that it all finishes at the same time. If I don't do that, the episode overruns. The cards appear in the wrong place. The whole thing's a disaster. So we'll now zoom out and make sure we've got everything, which we have. Thumbnail. So now I'm looking for, usually I'll do this as I scrub through, but I'm looking for a shot, and I'll usually try and take a shot while I'm recording. There you go, that'll do it. No, that'll do it even better. About there. That's quite a nice shot. We want to get rid of the spinny cube out of there, so we'll just silence that for a moment. You can see it, right? Well, you'll have seen the thumbnail, so you can see it. We'll take a snapshot of that. Thank you. We'll unmask that, and then back to work. Right, so drag this over to the end, grab all of that, file, yes, export, media. And then we name the file and we tell that to go out and render. So there you go. So I've been your Colonel Failure there with a little bit of behind the scenes. Let me know if this was interesting or not, and I'll look at me multitasking like a boss. Railway, whatever episode. Railway. That's 6. Have I only done 6? God, this series is going to last for ages. It's not actually. I've almost finished. Railway 07. There we go. Do that. Queue it. Then I load up something called Media Encoder. which will allow me to queue all the things that I'm waiting to render out. But there you go. So that's the process. That's it for a straightforward Let's Play. That's pretty much all there is to it. As long as I don't make mistakes and goof up and screw up recording or have a coughing fit or anything along those lines, it's pretty quick. You just have to have some idea of what it is you want to record in the first place, and if you've got that, it's all just going to work. Anyway, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch up with you in the next Reduced, and there'll be other stuff in between there and it. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.